Hello guys, welcome back. In previous lecture we have seen how to install Git on Windows and Linux system, also creating repositories and pushing our code onto the repository, I mean to say local repository. But if you do remember the activities what we have done so far, we are doing all the activities in our Windows system or Windows laptop. We haven't communicated with any other system. Even our repository also still exists in our local system. So far it is fine, but if you want to work with a team, it doesn't work like this. And most of the cases you don't work alone. That is where you need to share your code with other team members. Assume that you have another team member you would like to share your code. Directly sharing your code is not possible. Why? Because you need to copy entire repository each and every time, and also it is difficult to copy your repository whenever we need. Why? Because this system may be up or not, and if more people are start using this repository, the more difficulty you are facing. So to overcome this kind of problem, we need to use a separate system where we can keep our repository on that system, and we can push our changes over there, and other developers can pull that code from that location. That is where GitHub comes into the picture. So what is GitHub? GitHub is a code hosting platform where we can host our repositories so other developers can able to use those repositories and do the changes to the same code. So the major advantage of using GitHub is we can work with team or we can work collaboratively. Without GitHub, we cannot able to achieve the distributed version control system. If you do remember, we were talking about distributed version control system in our initial class, right? Let me quickly go through with that once again. This is distributed version control system. So far, assume that I am working over here. Assume that this is my laptop and I have created repository and all the code is available over here. And sharing the code over here is a difficulty. That is where we are using GitHub as a main server repository, which can help us to distribute our code with other developers. That is how we can enable distributed version control system. Let's come back. Now, how can I send my code over here? So far my code is available in my laptop. I would like to send it to the GitHub so that other developer can able to pull my code. In this case, other developer nothing but developer 2, where we have created a Linux system on AWS cloud and installed Git, right? From that system, I want to do some activities on the same repository. So we should push our code onto the GitHub. But to push our code onto GitHub, we should have an GitHub account.